So there's one main factor that's stopping you from taking your meditation practice to another level and getting all the benefits, and it's messy. People don't talk about it, and that's why people struggle. And in hearing it, you're going to want to compartmentalize it and immediately be like, okay, I got it, and stop paying attention. But I suggest you pay close attention to the nuances throughout the video, because that's what's going to help you actually apply it properly as opposed to incorrectly, because you can definitely do this incorrectly if you're not paying close attention. So this video is assuming you have some experience in meditation. If you do, the first key here to finding that next level is committing to physical stillness. Because if you don't, if you fidget when you feel uncomfortable in your meditation practice, you'll notice your mind never really fully becomes still, because you're not physically still. So stretch beforehand, walk around the block, get physically loose so that you can be physically still. And once you commit to that in your mind at the start of your session, you won't have to find discomfort. As I'm sure you know from experience, discomfort will find you if you're being still. And when it does, assuming that it's safe and you're not going to injure yourself by staying still, stay with that stillness and think of it like a wave of discomfort that's coming at you. And that wave, you want to meet with equal parts allowing and presence. And they have to have a level of intensity that's equal or slightly greater than the discomfort that's coming at you. You don't have to have a lot more than that. You want it to be sustainable. Whatever's coming at you, think of it like a wave, and that wave's coming. If it's a baby wave, you want to meet it with equal or greater presence and devour that discomfort. If it's a big wave, then you really ramp up your intensity of presence and allowing, because you're not trying to suppress that discomfort. You're allowing it to be there, but you're meeting it with that space of intense presence so that it devours it. It's very relaxed but intense at the same time, because you're allowing it, but you're also meeting it with that huge space, that huge energy of presence. What otherwise is happening is some discomfort's coming up and you shrink from it, you don't lean into it, and then it overcomes you. And then the thoughts ramp up even more. So we're not even going to worry about mental discomfort or mental thoughts racing, because in your meditation practice, that's ultimately just a symptom of you not attending to the visceral, raw, physical discomfort that's arising. That's the root cause, and once you handle that, you'll notice the mind becomes reliably still. So we want to be super careful to not suppress anything. So if it's emotional, you can do the letting go technique or a version of it, where you basically let that emotional wave come up, assuming that you're ready and safe and able to handle whatever that is in that particular moment. If you're not, then work with a therapist or have someone guide you through this process. But assuming you are able to handle that emotion, let it come up, meet it with an intense allowing and an intense focus on the sensations, not the thoughts. So whether it's emotional or whether it's physical, you want that discomfort to become the new object of your meditation. So for me, when I'm meditating, I slowly expand my awareness to where my focus object is my entire body and all the space around me. And so if discomfort comes up in my body, I pivot my attention away from that massive space of awareness onto where that specific discomfort is. For as long as that discomfort is a noticeable wave of discomfort, and then once that wave is passed, I re-expand to my all-encompassing focus object. But if you're just doing your breath, for example, you stay with your breath, the discomfort comes in your body, you pivot your attention to where that is in your body, stay with it with equal or greater intensity of allowing and presence on that specific point of discomfort in your body until the wave passes, or it's not so uncomfortable in your perception, and then return back to your breath. So you can think of it kind of like a cold shower. If you get in the cold shower or in a cold plunge, if you've done that before, you know that every part of you instinctively wants to lean away. But if you lean into it, you're able to stay in the cold shower. If you lean into it with presence, but you're not allowing those cold sensations to flow, you'll stay in with sheer force of will in that cold, but you won't be able to relax into it because you're not also allowing it. If you allow it, but you're not present, you'll start to shrink from it. So it's the same principle as applied to meditation. That's why we bail out of our meditation, or we shortchange ourselves, or we listen to the voice that pops in our head that says, that's enough for today, or whatever avoidant thing comes up. We can usually intuit if it's avoidance, but we succumb to it because there's some discomfort that feels like too big a wave for us to handle. And if it is, respect that and step out, bow out, come back another day when you can tackle that challenge. But if you feel like you can take it on, just like the cold, lean into it. And if you stay with that mentality and that technique over the course of the session, you'll notice that your presence will gradually gain momentum. It will gradually strengthen and increase in an effortless way because you're not trying to rush that process. You're not trying to tense and stress your way through discomfort. You're just meeting it with exactly the amount of energy that is coming at you. You're like a surfer getting on the wave and riding it every single time and then paddling back out instead of avoiding that next wave of discomfort, just openly anticipating it, allowing it to be the thing to carry you into that next level of presence. So again, we're not seeking out the discomfort. We don't want to make meditation a more uncomfortable process than it is. We want to enjoy those blissful waves of presence, of openness, of spaciousness when they're there, and those qualities that they help us cultivate in our daily life as a consequence. But in the actual practice, one of the biggest keys is welcoming those waves of discomfort, getting on top of them, riding them, and allowing that to gain momentum over the course of the session. If you do this, you'll just grow in your practice more and more. If you subtly start to avoid it, or if you can't handle it, that's okay. But if you can handle it, but you're avoiding it, you'll just stagnate in your process and in your practice. If you want to boost to take your meditation practice to another level, check out my high-level focus and awareness playlist on my page, or check out my courses if you want to cut down your learning curve massively. But my suggestion is, if you have some experience, to just take this technique, take this paradigm, these simple steps, and apply it to your practice. Come back, rewatch the video, make sure you didn't miss anything. Keep applying it to your practice. Ask any questions in the comments section if it's helpful, and I'll help how I can. And keep improving and growing in your practice and getting all those benefits by applying this. And have a great day.